Hey gamers, I uploaded again. I'm editing this December 1st, so I hope this gets out in a timely manner, but anyways, yeah. It's been a hot minute since I've uploaded a YouTube video because I've been kind of procrastinating between this, other Walter Skilltree video scripts, and of course the darts only run, which is probably coming soon. I don't know, time is relative. Anyways, I did record a few Walter videos, both talking about just the character in general, and of course doing a little mini boss rush, but I really didn't have fun with it. Not only do I think some of his skill tree is kind of weird, like it's mostly slingshot centric, which didn't help because I was fighting all the bosses straightforward. Even like the honey rounds and stuff, all the new rounds they added, they're not really that great for like fighting bosses head on, which was bad. I was gonna make a video talking about why Walter was still kind of mid, but then I had a realization. Neither me nor Walter specialize in fighting things head on, which means it's time to find cheese methods for every boss to make them not only easier, but probably more fun, because like, wow guys, I spam stick Icar rounds or whatever they're called, and now the boss can't move. Whoa, this Walter gameplay sure is fun. Yeah, I thought finding cheese methods would not only make for a more interesting video, but would also be more fun for me. Speaking of no sticky rounds, that is another additional rule for this run, just because I thought it would make things interesting, and would change up strategies other than just spam sticky equals win. And also, I don't like riff stuff, so I'm not even going to bother using riffs. Yeah, I don't really care for riffs. Anyways, let's get into the Walter Skilltree boss rush slingshot only, no sticky rounds, cheese only Walter Skilltree. Feel free to comment below which character you think I played. Oh, it was Walter! Okay, so here's the Skilltree loadout I used, because I didn't actually show it in the video, whoopsie. But yeah, notice I didn't really change much. The Wobby training skills are useless, most of the extra ammo skills are useless, I'm gonna be honest. I did use gunpowder rounds and skeet rounds a couple times, but really the middle two are where it's at. Projectile Pro lets you craft more projectiles, which means more rounds per craft, which is the only skill that makes Walter viable, and the skills down below are all attachments that I'll explain once I obtain them. But yeah, they buff your slingshot, and then the rift skills I just didn't use any rift stuff. Because rifts are dumb! The first couple days are like any other, where I just kind of explore around the world and pick up basic resources. I'm looking for stuff like a pig village, dragonfly, a sinkhole, all the typical stuff you'd want in your base. Also, another nice perk of Walter, which has to do with his weird sanity mechanic, is that he doesn't actually lose any sanity from going through wormholes. How sweet. But yeah, I'm pretty much just looking for stuff most other characters be looking for. But I do want to rush the ruins early to get his best sort of ammo, and I also want to fight Dragonfly first autumn, so it is imperative that I find her. Nothing else really matters, like Oasis, it could be anywhere on the map for all I care. Another thing I want to locate is also the shadow pieces, because I do want to fight Ancient Fieldweaver in this run, and Walter's actually pretty good at doing that, because he can move the shadow pieces with Wobby. So yes, all things I'm looking out for, which I could have just said stuff everybody looks for, because none of that stuff is unique to Walter. But yeah, his slingshot is decently powerful. As you can see, I'm easily able to overpower these small spiders. And yeah, I mean, what do you expect? Projectiles are pretty strong in this game. Luckily, I find a pig village that has plenty of grass. And shortly after this little find, I also find a nice living tree, which is good because I want to make Star Color and Deconstruction for the Moonstorms eventually. And also Star Color is really good. After mining a handful of rocks, I go and discover the area that will eventually be my base, because it is so perfect it cannot even be understated. It's got marble statue terrarium, pig houses, pig village, pig king, it's got a sinkhole, it's got a wormhole, it's got queen bee, it's got dragonfly, and it's got a touchstone, and it has some tentacles nearby, which I need to get a thing upgrade, and also it has spiders nearby, so it is literally like every single thing I could have possibly asked for in a base location, which is just a righteous gift to me because I am so good at this game. Anyway, it's time to go back out and explore, because I have limited time with Big Wobby, and I also actually haven't discovered any of the stuff I listed out. So, spoilers, sorry guys, but this is a good base spot. No matter what, Pig King is a pretty good base. Anyways, I head back to the previous pig village so I can destroy the entire thing and take everything for myself. Oh, that'll look great. Yeah, Walter, fits perfectly. Anyways, after doing a bunch of probably not important stuff, I discovered the Dragonfly Desert and the location of Dragonfly, which is super helpful, because I want to beat this boss for Sodom, because I will shortly die by cold like a little noob, because I'm playing Walter. Yeah, this is a pretty good base spot for Dragonfly. I do want her to be nearby my base, and it is genuinely more helpful to find her first more than other bosses, because anyway, I also get all this free marble, which is nice because marble rounds are one of the better Walter rounds, doing a nice 51 damage per hit. So yeah, pretty good. This is like the double the damage of gold, by the way. So pretty significant upgrade. Anyways, all this is looking at me as like some filthy casual gameplay, and we're here to boss rush, so it's time to run to the ruins. After I like set up crockpots and stuff, and also get the slingshot modding kit, which I can use to upgrade and augment my slingshot to make it slightly better. I don't know what any of the upgrades do, but they like shoot faster, like more range, stuff like that. Caves Gaming! Yay! Okay, now that I got my light bulbs, I gotta go back to the surface to make a lantern. Anyways, right off spawn, I actually do locate the blue lunar biome, or the blue mushroom forest, which is useful not only because blue mushrooms are kinda okay, I guess, but the lunar grotto is helpful because both the moonrock or glass I can get from there is good for a wink wink surprise round, and also I can go to the archives to get more dual sight fragments, which I'll need for a round that I'm about to get in the ruins. But yeah, good place, good find, greatness. Anyways, once I actually reached the muddy biome, I just couldn't find the ruins. I don't know where it is. Maybe I'm just a big don't starve together noob, but I literally just found a dead end after like dead end over and over. I just want to go to the ruins. I just want a ruins rush. Well, it didn't actually take that long, but I do love complaining about every little thing that goes wrong. Anyways, yeah, I find the ruins, which is pretty handy. There's quite a couple of upgrades I can get in here, like a slingshot frame for the slingshot, which is an upgrade, but it's not really that good. Don't let the Walter mob tell you, don't be a sheep. Yeah, it's really only good if you use sticky rounds, which obviously I'm not using. But the main thing I want to get a lot of is nightmare fuel and dual sight fragments, so I can make cursed rounds. They only do this 51 damage, which is the same as marble rounds, but they have the dual sight club's effect of being able to spawn a little shadow tentacle for like up to 68 extra damage if you're on a stationary target, which is super duper good because most of the cheese strategies involve trying to get the boss to not move. Shocker. Speaking of bosses, the first one I find is the Ancient Guardian, who I decide to challenge immediately because I am ready. Now, I do actually kind of fight him normally for the first couple bits of this fight, because number one, it's kind of easy to do, and second of all, there's a horde of spiders chasing me that stupid Wobie probably spawned, and I don't want to get jumped by spiders because I will certainly go insane and die because I'm playing a little frail Walter, so yeah. But eventually I can coax the Guardian into attacking all the spiders, allowing me to swiftly get into position and start lasering him. Yeah, this is what I meant. He literally cannot get to me if I'm stuck here, which is kind of the fault of the world generation. And also, I don't know, it's funny. If I had a lazy explorer, this would be 9 times easier, but I could always just walk around. I used a nice mix of gold and marble rounds for this fight, which wasn't really too bad because the Guardian only has 10,000 HP, which really isn't that much. And I had plenty of gold from mining all those rocks, and also plenty of marble from Werepig and all the random statues I found. So yeah, I made pretty short work of this guy, even with some mid-ammo. And with that, we have a very easy first boss down. Yeah, I go ahead and collect all the meat, all the crap I get from him. I do want to make a Houndius Shooticus if I can, but that is not a guarantee, because I might accidentally eat the Guardian Horn like a big moron, or something. Anyways, I get a bunch of useful stuff from Guardian, but I'm not sure which useful stuff until I open the mysterious package. This loot is pretty great. Thulcite Crown and Starcaller Staff are obviously the two big good items, but I also get a lot of Thulcite and Thulcite Fragments, which is always nice to have, and even some yellow gems. And also, I don't think I've even gotten gears at this point, so those gears are nice too. So yeah, pretty good runes loot. Could have been better, but could have been way, way worse. I also take the opportunity to gather a bunch of free rocks, because I do want to make some walls for future bosses. And yeah, it's a good strategy to get a bunch of free walls, is fight Ancient Guardian, because you're probably going to do that anyway. Now that we've defeated the Guardian, it is time to escape the ruins. I do need to craft a few things, but after I do that I need to book it, because I need to kill Dragonfly before autumn ends. And I don't know how long this is going to take to set up the cheese method I'm trying to do, because I've also never tried it before. So yeah, I need to make haste. I first begin by blocking off every individual pond, which is pretty annoying, but it is definitely going to pay off. Instead of building like just one wall, I figured I should do this in case I need to move around my little cheese setup and position myself the right way. I could just build a box, but I don't know, I just did this anyway. After completing the step of blocking off every single pond, it's now time to go tame 2 beefalo, which I will explain in just a second. So please welcome to the team Lunchly Lover, Hot Coin Investors, Beefalo, and oh wait, hold on, I gotta put a bell in Wobie. Yeah, Walter's actually pretty good for this strat, because you can actually have 2 tamed beefalo on you at once if you put one of the bells inside of Wobie. Isn't that just some neat little tech right there? Anyway, welcome to the team wall, because that's right, I will be using the niche mechanic of making mob walls. This is incredibly powerful, especially for bosses that seem to be unblockable, like Bee Queen or Dragonfly, because they cannot pass through beefalo, or really any mob for that example. They will have to push past pigmen, but if you're able to put 2 big mobs close to each other, like 2 beefalo, you can create a wall that they cannot pass through, but the boss will think they can pass through. And then they just kind of get stuck in place, which is really, really good, and really, really effective. Much more effective than I could have ever hoped. So let's get into the fight. Setups like these also maximize the effectiveness of the Thulcite rounds, which is really nice. The Shadow Tentacle is pretty much guaranteed to get both its extra hits, which is like 54, or 51 I think they do, 51 plus 68 damage, which is a whole lot per pellet, which is especially nice because Walter used to have terrible DPS. Or maybe not, I don't know, it's certainly easier to mass produce pellets now, maybe that was the problem. But yeah, I actually make fairly quick work of this boss with this setup. Even the lava phase isn't too bad because I obviously blocked off all of the lava. And then whenever she flies back to me, I can just position myself accordingly for her to get stuck in between the beefalo. So yeah, it is time for a time-lapse fight. Yeah, this fight was a cakewalk if you think a little outside of the box. Mob walls proved to be super duper effective. Like, I didn't even get touched that fight. And it's certainly probably way easier than riding away on Wobie and shooting back every couple of seconds, whatever I was trying to do in the first run. But yeah, this also seemed more of an interesting strategy than spamming slowdown rounds, if I'm going to be honest. Like, wow, the boss is slow, and you like reposition yourself. Like, at least I'm just keeping it streamlined by just staying in one spot. Anyways, from this we get a bunch of free gems and a bunch of meat, but most importantly the dragonfly scale, which we can use to make the scaled furnace, which is going to help a lot during winter, as it is not only an infinite heat source, but also gives off a little bit of light. It's just also a nice, beautiful base decoration. And a trophy of our victory. Onwards to winter. Anyways, before winter begins, I also go ahead and swipe the terrarium, as I do want to fight Twins of Terror fairly early into winter. Also, I get gunpowder from this chest, which is important for another item I get to have the pleasure of launching at my enemies. Yeah, Twins of Terror is a fight I just wanted to do because I thought it'd be hard as Walter. And I was right, but that'll have to wait till I actually fight them. Another thing I want to do is find the rest of the shadow pieces and put them together at the set piece, because I found none of them. And I also want to get a walking cane and fight Claws, and maybe even set up for Bee Queen. So yeah, there's a lot going on, a couple of bosses I want to kill.
Yes! 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 Fuck!
Anyways, the first thing I did in winter was try and hunt down the Claws deer. They normally take a few days to grow their antlers in winter, but I wasn't really sure how long this was, and I really didn't want them to go run to some other biome like they tend to do. So I just decided to camp out with them for a few days. Anyways, now that I've found the little antler things, I can go unlock the claw sack. If I could find it, I spend a couple of days looking through all the biomes before I eventually find it. Anyways, if you thought that Dragonfly was super duper free, just get ready for this Claws fight, because for some reason, they made it to where he will simply not do anything but walk and get kind of stuck. If you are outside of his range, and he like wants to go back to his sack, and you keep shooting him, kind of hard to explain, but I will literally just show you. It is so broken. Anyway, yeah, this boss was so free. They should have just put like a machine that you put a bunch of ammo into and it just gives you all the claws rewards, because that's what this felt like. He actually could not even attack me once until I got him to phase 2. For some reason, even with his little like jump attack, I don't think I avoided it the way I was supposed to, but it literally didn't matter because he couldn't hit me at all. Yeah, this boss was just like, I don't know what else I can describe it. Free is pretty much the only way to say this. Yeah, sometimes he would even get stuck in between trying to attack me and trying to walk back, and would take extra damage from the shadow tentacles. Wow, I love the skill trees opening up more complex boss designs. This is awesome. Actually, Walter could probably do this pre-skill tree, whatever. Anyways, time for epic gambling claws loot. I actually got some pretty okay stuff. Actually, no way, I got really good gear. What am I talking about? Yeah, Royal Jelly is super duper broken, and even the Malbatross bill is probably really helpful because it is just a better driftwood ore. But yeah, now I can craft the Royal Jelly little handle piece thing that will increase my fire rate tenfold. Yeah, normally I would have to defeat Bee Queen for this, but I just got super lucky. I'm a god gamer, yeah! Also, I think right now I paused it because I was asking the DST cord if this was even a good upgrade. Yeah, even an extra Mandrake is nice because I do need some pan flutes for the next boss I want to cheese. Getting Mandrakes was like the only other important thing I did before my next boss. I kind of just bumbled around and got food and stuff. And a prestidigitator, of course, so I could actually make pan flutes. Also, one last thing I did was get a walking cane, because this will pair nicely with my Magiluminescence, because Wobie is not always that reliable. Because if you get hit too much while in Wobie, she will buck you off and you take a bunch of damage and lose a bunch of sanity. Anyways, I'm now fully prepared for my next boss fight. The twins. You might think it's strange to use pan flutes to cheese the twins, but there is actually a pretty common strategy with this for like speedruns and such, which is the fact that twins have a really long sleep and wake up animation, so you can just spam pan flutes and do a lot of damage, and hopefully they won't wake up and kill you. Hopefully, because twins are really strong. And Walter is not necessarily that good at this cheese method, but I'm gonna try it because why not? Also, I've got plans for Bee Queen. Hopefully that royal jelly wrap that I got will actually help me deal more damage to the twins before they rip me to shreds. But also they will be kept in place by my mini little shadow tentacles that also deal damage, so that's nice. The only problem appears to be, sometimes if my shadow tentacles are attacking them and he's taking too much damage, Spasmosism will just like shrug off the pan flute, which is really bad because then I'm left vulnerable to take a hefty charge to the face, which is a whole lot of damage. But other than that, this fight is going pretty smoothly. Okay, so how did Retinazer just shrug off my pan flute use there? I was clearly in range, and he just like happened to not go to sleep? Why? I wasn't even attacking him that much. Yeah, sometimes this fight just goes wrong, and there's nothing I can do about it. Up until Phase 3, this fight is mostly kind of free. I mean, Phase 2. But yeah, Retinazer is probably the bigger threat, because he obviously does a lot more damage and is faster. However, Walter also really struggles to remove like any amount of their minions, because they're so fast. And Walter has trouble having he has a long startup animation on his stupid little slingshot. So he can't run away, he has to reposition constantly, it's so annoying. But yeah, Retinazer was pretty free, because I would just spam this. I mean, what is happening right now? Anyways, Spasmodism went down pretty easily, and now all that leaves is Retinazer, who will probably be easier, I hope. But yeah, I didn't go through too many pan flutes, only like a couple, and oh yeah, also due to the fact that they dropped me a frazzled wire, I can now make the scrappy frame, which I totally could have done when I left the ruins, but I gave all my thing to make gold. Oopsie. Yeah, scrappy frame is pretty powerful, as it allows me to do like a little charge shot, which does double damage, but of course takes longer to shoot. It's honestly pretty good. I don't think it out-damages normal slingshot, but it is nice to have an alternate method of attacking, and also it's nice for farther away targets. And also I can manually aim it, and it won't just lock onto freaking Chester or something random. Retinazer should be easier in theory, as they are slower and will also spawn minions, which I can put to sleep with Pan Flute, but also that'll mean they will have a less opportunity to charge attack me, because they would rather spawn minions, meaning they will just stun themselves with that stupid animation. But sometimes the minions get out of hand, which is where the problems arise. Luckily, Retinas are, yeah, kind of a damage sponge. But look at that, they just didn't go to sleep and I'm getting comboed. And then the stupid minions decided to join in on the tag team. This fight is more annoying than difficult, because sometimes the minions just won't go to sleep, or will just like, I don't know, decide not to... Oh, what am I trying to say? Also, another thing is the targeting on Xbox, or I guess controller, because I'm not technically on Xbox, for the slingshot is just terrible, because it will always focus like either nightmare creatures or the boss. And sometimes I would love the boss to stay asleep while I attack the minions. Now, if I had the scrappy frame here, it would have helped with that, because of course I can manually aim it, and also it'll do more damage, which is pretty good on sleeping targets, because you can get a free charge-up double hit. But this mod kit just broke for no reason, so I guess I cannot mod my slingshot right now, until later. Yeah, another pretty powerful strategy in this fight is just to just run away. Because most of the time they just won't chase you if they're not already charging. And you can just go run as far away as you want. Whoa, what the heck? My footage is corrupted and now I'm like here setting up for a different Retinas fight. That's crazy. Huh. Well, I guess this is fine. I lost the 50-50 on the deer club spawn. But yeah. Hopefully now, even if they do spawn in, it will not destroy my entire base. Deerclops acted pretty good as bait, and also did a fine job killing all of the minions because she has splash damage ice, or AoE I guess, is a better term. But yeah, of course Deerclops was never ever going to win this fight in a billion years, but it was easy as it saved me a bunch of bullets for both bosses. Oh no. Luckily, I'm a don't starve extreme master, and I would never die. And finally, the other twin is dead. I would say this pan flute method is actually pretty effective because the normal twins fight is ridiculous. It is so hard. Well, I think it is. I don't know. I haven't really fought that boss that much. But yeah, the pan flute method pretty much just allows you to cheese half of it, which is dodging the charges. And that's nice. I feel like if I was Walter, I would get dumpstered, even if I tried to dodge with Wobie. Because like one hit is just, oh, I lose the fight now because there's two twins attacking me. And Wobie just bucked me off, which is stupid because Wobie has infinite health, so she should not be afraid to tank infinite damage. I think that'd be a fantastic Walter balancing change. Actually, they should just make Abigail invisible too, that's really fair. I also go back to the Lunar Grotto to get a bunch of Moonglass because there's a special pellet type you can make with them, but it turns out you need to do that at a stupid lunar altar, so yeah, real cool. I can't remember what else I did other than like move the shadow pieces together so I can fight them in spring. Maybe I like gathered ice, I don't know. This season's kind of already killed everything I needed to. Anyway. And then I went back to the ruins to make some cool ruins gear for early spring. Oh yeah. Oh great, I messed up the recording and now there's a white bar at the bottom. Well, you probably wouldn't even have known that unless you're watching in full screen. And I mean, everybody watches in full screen. Never mind, just act like it's not there. Anyway, it's time to do some epic spring stuff. My plan for the Shadow Pieces boss fight was to simply hide around one edge and just hope that the knight couldn't reach me. I plan to kill him last and drop the bishop and the rook first, so I can hopefully just spam him to death and he won't hurt me at all. But I'm not sure if he's going to pathfind all the way over there. And if he does, I think I'm going to die a horribly painful death. Yeah, this fight was pretty free. Bishop couldn't even... Oh, let me grab it.
Oh my god, bro.
I guess I should have played around that. Luckily, a day passed during the fight, so I was able to find the, I was able to just get right back into it, but I have no idea where the knight went. So I hope and pray he isn't pathfinding around the entire island to come kill me right now. But that probably wouldn't be as bad as my slingshot slipping out of my hands and getting struck by lightning mid-fight. Which, like, wow. I genuinely couldn't find where the knight went, so I decided to roll back even further into the past and pretty much just redo the entire fight. Thanks, don't starve. Anyways, on fight attempt number 3 technically, I guess timeline number 3, the fight went off pretty well. The knight couldn't even hit me across the lake, which I was kind of worried about. And also, I'm glad I didn't just walk up right to the edge to shoot my slingshot, like sometimes will happen. But yeah, I was able to hurt this guy. Also, somehow, maybe Wobie can pathfind all the way over? I don't know what Wobie's doing. Wobie's kind of dumb. But yeah, the knight can't reach me with Pathfind, so I think you know how this is gonna go. Anyways, yeah, now I have everything I need to fight the Fuel Weaver. I also get a Dark Sword, which I don't really know what this does. I only use my slingshot. And I get some Knight Armor, which is pretty nice because Knight Armor is pretty good. Also, Walter doesn't lose sanity or something, I don't know. And Knight Armor is just, it's like Marble Suit, but you can move around, so it's awesome because Marble Suits are freaking epic. Anyways, I wanted to fight Bee Queen now before the end of spring, so I can have the little hat thing she drops for Ancient Fuel Weaver. Even though I didn't think I would need it, I just wanted to do it anyway. Also, jelly beans are nice, and this is, and that point in the run is technically where I would get the jelly handle if I hadn't have just gotten super lucky with claws. But yeah, I need to prepare for that now. The guide I was kind of using, or the cheese method at least, I first found in this video by Ice00 about using this like Flingomatic Bee Queen method, which I also credited in my last video where I also used this method. But yeah, this thing is pretty broken, and I swear if they patch Ice Flingomatics, I'm going to go ballistic because this is pretty awesome. The strat is a little annoying to set up, but that's not really that big of a deal. I did unfortunately respawn like 5 Spider Queens going to get silk for boat sales though, which was pretty annoying. They kept spawning in stupid pocket medics and I couldn't do anything about that. The hardest part of setting up this method is lodging all the pigmen into their spots. The way this method works is by putting these piggies in little walls so they can't move anywhere, and they also will block Bee Queen because she cannot fly through enemies. But it's really hard to move them. I guess when they're frozen they just, I don't know, it's just really hard. Also, for some reason it appears Big Wobie can be frozen, but like not fully, like I can't get on them and I can't move them, but they're not like technically frozen. I don't get what this is. Anyways, it doesn't even matter. I don't need Wobie. I can do this all on my own. It's time to begin the epic Bee Queen fights. The main idea to get this all set up is to just lead her forward and she will kite away from the player. So if you stand on the other side of her while she's, you know, facing the freeze contraption, you can just get her stuck in there and she will just get frozen over and over. And you should be able to just do a bunch of damage for free. Unfortunately, this fight was pretty difficult, not only because Bee Queen, of course, kept breaking out for some reason, but also, I mean, you know. I'm not sure why the trap sort of broke so much, or and why she got out, but I was able to still do a ton of damage, and also I sometimes got lucky and she just didn't leave and took a bunch of free damage. So yeah. Also, this works well with the little accursed rounds, but I'm pretty sure the Shadow Tentacles can also get frozen by the Flingomatic, so I don't even know if they were helping. The only annoying part of this fight is that bees do so much damage to Walter, and that isn't really that big of a deal because I have fine enough healing, and I do still have a Thulsite Crown, so it won't really be that bad, but it would just tank my sanity, so I just kind of have to spend a few minutes just waiting for the nightmare creatures to spawn to fight them. Luckily, the little ice machine was really good at keeping all of her bees at bay, even the ones whenever she screams, because they will just instantly get frozen again. So yeah, this machine is at least very nice for that. But this fight wasn't too bad. It was definitely one of the roughest fights in the run though. Also, for some unknown reason, my machine randomly started breaking for no reason. Just like real life. This kind of freaked me out because I was already into phase 4, and I had no idea why it would just stop. But I should be able to survive long enough to not get horribly killed. Maybe. At least Wobie got unfrozen. Huh, well I guess it's working now, that's whatever. Funny enough, there was a hound attack, but they all got frozen solid as soon as they got over here. So, yeah. Pretty choppy fight, but overall the cheese method is kind of broken. And Walter's kind of good, so he did some damage and he killed the boss. Anyway, yeah. I cleaned up the mess created by all these random enemies who interrupted the fight and also spawned in. But yeah, that was honestly not super bad. I thought it would honestly go easier because that cheese method is kind of busted. I literally punched Bee Queen to death with it. But yeah, now we have the door open to fight the Ancient Fuel Weaver, which we probably could have done without killing Bee Queen, but I figured Bee Queen would be an interesting fight to do with Walter. So yeah, turns out it's an easy cheese for any character, so oopsie. Anyway, one thing I didn't remember to plan for was the moonstorms, because it turns out it's a full moon tonight and I really want to get the stupid star collar, whatever it's called, so I can go do champion as soon as possible, so I have to edit this video less. But my lackluster defense unfortunately couldn't hold, so sad. Anyways, while I'm thinking about it, the reason I did skip most of the mini bosses, like Moose Goose and Frostjaw and whatever, is either I couldn't really figure out a way to cheese them that would be interesting, or I just didn't want to fight them, because like I don't get anything good from Moose Goose, and they're just kind of an ammo sink, and do you really want to see, oh guys, look at my unique cheese method, I got on Wobie, and I shot the boss to death, that's awesome. Anyways, I figured a better name for this chapter instead of summer would be something I decided to go grab a load of rocks because I assumed I would need them for a Fuel Weaver method involving building a bunch of the pillars you get from Ancient Guardian, but it turns out this was for naught, and I will show you my cheese, obviously, when I fight Fuel Weaver, but it's pretty funny, and I end up getting a ton of rocks for literally no reason. I don't even know what I use them for. I probably use them for something dumb. Oh, wait, never mind, I remembered. Yeah, it was something dumb. Hold on. You'll see later in the run, but just know I spent a lot of time doing a bunch of dumb stuff. Huh, there's a lure plant here. Wait, don't I need a lure plant for something like Pearl? I need to find Pearl's Island fast. I've got like less than a day to get to Pearl's Island or I'm gonna have to fish. luckily I actually managed to get there in time, and I defeated the lure plant before it despawned. Also, I might have given Pearl my umbrella just because I didn't want to go make an umbrella or anything. So yeah, we thankfully have a few tasks done now. That could have been bad. I didn't want to fish. That would have been the worst thing ever, am I right, guys? Hashtag worst DST mechanic. Oh yeah! Anyways, I headed back to the caves because, of course, I needed fossils to fight Fuelweaver, and I also wanted to get my preparations ready for that fight. And also, fossils, I don't know if they're still good for moonstorms. I think they got super hard nerfed, but I still kind of want to get a couple. I also grabbed the ancient key from the Guardian Arena because I forgot to do that when I originally killed him. I even located the spooky atrium pillar. I still don't like how it spawns bishops around it. I think that's dumb, and I think this whole mechanic is stupid. Guys, just make atrium not suck, okay? It's not about finding it. It's about sending a message.
What? No, dude!
Anyways, it's now time to fight the Ancient Fuelweaver. Also, side note, I actually really like using the slingshot to kill shadow pieces. It just feels like I have aimbot, because you'll like pre-fire where they teleport to. It's super funny. Also, can I just say, I think Atrium is one of the conceptually just most frustrating areas to venture. I really wish they just made this like just the spawn room, because there's no loot. It is just a bunch of annoying nightmare gates, which wouldn't really be that big of a deal if it wasn't on the way back too. Because it's just super annoying to traverse, and if you get done with the Fuelweaver fight and you beat him and you don't have the stuff to get back, then whatever. That's really why I like to avoid walking, because this freaking maze is horrible. And they said they're going to fix it and they added a bridge that can't connect to Atrium, so big whoop. Anyway, eventually I get to the center. Ancient Fuelweaver is regarded as one of the toughest and most mechanically deep bosses in this entire video game. So of course it's going to take something complicated to cheese him. Well, first of all, let me assemble the skeleton and activate the ancient key. Yeah, if you teleport out of the arena and you shoot him, he'll never despawn. And this is this is actually where the charge shot comes in, because then you have infinite range and you can manually aim everything. So yeah, you literally just teleport out of the arena and shoot at him, and he can't despawn because it will stun him. Isn't this cheese so awesome? Dude, I'm glad Skilltrees enable more complex boss designs. So yeah, you need like 3 items to beat this boss other than, I guess, the summon items. You don't even need to set anything up, you literally just need to teleport out of the arena and then shoot at them. I mean, granted, you could do the same thing before Walter's Skilltree, or at least before Void Walking was removed, and I think you can still do this before Walter's Skilltree, because, I don't know, maybe Charge Shot made the difference there, or maybe attack speed did. But anyways, yeah. Also, I wanted to do this fight, not only for obvious reasons, but because I actually did this in one of my very old videos. Well, time is relative. But yeah, I beat the boss with the worst character, which is Walter. But he's not the worst anymore now, it's Warley. I don't activate Shadow Rifts because I think all Rift content is stupid. And I don't need it because I'm not a little baby. And I don't need dumb Rift stuff to beat Celestial Champion. I'm a real starver. Speaking of Celestial Champion, now time to do all of that stuff. Now there are only 2 bosses left. And in order to beat both of them, well, first I need to do the pro tasks in order to beat Crab King, and then I need to do the rest of the moon altars to activate Celestial Champion. Anyways, Wobie actually is pretty helpful with the moon altars because she can move them just like a beefalo can, much like the marble pieces. So yeah, that's actually something Walter's good at. I remember, this is what I used all of my rocks for. I construct a beautiful and great moonstorm base. I want to do this before full moon so I didn't rush to build it next time, and I really want to put off pearl tasks as much as I could, because they suck. And also, I really can't do anything else except pearl tasks and preparing for this. So yeah. check out the finished product. I'd like to take my Nobel Peace Prize for most effective moonstorm defense. Anyways, next I just have to do the pearl tasks, which I might skip over most of the footage of me actually doing them, just because I don't want to sift through all my footage, because this was recorded a while ago, and also because I'm on fire and insane for the half of it. So yeah. Anyways, the stuff like the berry tasks and the butterflies and stuff wasn't too bad. Of course, I already had done drying, already done, the umbrella task, and already done the lure plant. So I only need to upgrade her house 3 times. Do chair, flower salad, which I do, butterflies, and berries. So I do, in total, I did house, berries, kelp, lure plant, umbrella, ruins chair, flower salad, butterflies. I think that's all the ones I did. Luckily that boring crap can all be put off because it's time to do the moonstone event. Yeah, I think I added a few more walls to my defenses, but I don't think it matters. I think this will be super duper secure no matter what. See, Clay, this is the type of creative strategies you make your players do if you nerf fossils. Even though fossils were super OP. Please don't nerf ice flammatics, that'd be so sad. Anyways, I head to Pearl's Island to do the nice tasks. It's funny that I finally got the moon collar, but now it's autumn, so I don't even need it. Yeah, doing most of the tasks weren't too difficult, because it's normally just stuff I already had around base. And I had to give up some rare items like umbrella, but it's whatever. Also, I'd gotten the replica ruins chair from really early on in the run when I went to the ruins. And I still have all the stuff I need to build her house. Anyways, I also brought stuff for the sawhorse, and I did the trash task. That was the other one I forgot. Anyways, yeah, this wasn't too bad. Even collecting cookie shells wasn't super difficult because I have the slingshot, and they also upped the drop rates a lot. So it was really easy doing the pearl task, and I just put them off because I'm lazy. Same with making this video, honestly. Anyways, after obtaining Pearl's Pearl, there's only a couple more things to do before the end game. I obviously still have to go to the archives to do that sort of puzzle and beat Crab King, but then that's all I need to do to beat the Celestial Champion. Pearl task is one of the biggest bars of entry, to be honest, and I also already have the Celestial Orb. So I guess it's time to go to the archives then. I had been into the archives quite a few times during the playthrough to get tons of free Thule-Site fragments for cursed rounds, but this is the only time I was actually there for a purpose to progress the playthrough, because I didn't have access to the star colors. Also, I completely did the wrong one at first and got the stupid collected dust thing. Yeah, my archives was a little weird, but Wobie and Lazy Explorer made it pretty easy to traverse. I just like how the archives look. Also, can I just say that they completely blundered not using the sealed portal for the Celestial Rifts? It makes perfect sense. Why would they not do that? Rifts are super dumb and lame now. Well, they were going to be anyway, but now they're extra dumb and extra lame. Anyways, I get the astral detector and I boogie on out of there. Luckily, both of the astral pieces were near my base, so I was able to find them with ease, and of course Wobie helped me move them. The reason I wanted to find the astral pieces first is because the Eyes of Ender will actually lead you to Crab King and Lunar Island, which I still haven't found, after you collect both of those pieces, so that's nice. Alright, where's Lunar Island? Let's see. Why is it pointing to the mainland? Yep, we're doing this again. We're sailing across the entire island. Luckily, I did run into my pearl boat because it was on the way, so I could get the pension winch and also get the other altars on there because I need the pension winch to get the third altar from Crab King. Also, it looks like I dropped one of them and it's floating in midair. Do you guys see that? It's so weird. Yeah. Luckily, it didn't take me too long from the boat to get to Lunar Island. Now I can assemble both of the altars that I already have and the ones on Lunar Island, and even make some of those stupid little glass rounds, whatever they're called. But yeah, next step is to go fight Crab King to get the final altar to be able to activate the Moonstorms. Luckily, I found Crab King shortly, next to Lunar Island. So yeah, time to go back to base and get ready for the fight. Luckily, I had plenty of gems and stuff for Crab King, and I wanted to use the Thulsite rounds anyway, because of course he's a standstill target. I wasn't really sure how this fight would go, and I wasn't too planned for it, but I assumed I could just attack him out of range after destroying all his cannons, and he wouldn't be able to do anything. So let's go fight the boss. I completely forget whatever the order is supposed to be, like most effective, so I kind of just spam random gems. I know red buffs the cannons, but I don't know what that freaking does. I don't know what the rest of them are. So unfortunately, I do take a ton of damage from the cannons and lose a ton of sanity. But you can actually just kind of destroy the cannons, and I thought they were only boats, but I guess not. Turns out, once you get to this part in the Crab King fight, it's kind of over. You can just spam charge shots and he will die. I'm so glad that Skilltrees enable more complex boss designs, like this entire rework being for nothing because I can just spam him with projectiles from anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. I thought he would do his ice shield or something, but I guess he just doesn't care. And now he's gonna die. And of course, Lunar Island is right nearby, so it should be pretty easy to go ahead and get the Moonstorms activated. As for the Moonstorms himself, I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty easy, because Walter has the splash damage stuff, and he's just going to shred all the little birdies. So yeah. I do have a few cheeses prepared for the final of our bosses, the Celestial Champion. I run into Bearger on the way back, and this is pretty much summarizes why I didn't want to go fight Moose Goose and all those stupid bosses that only have 1,000 health. Because look, I get on Wilby and I run away and then the fight is pretty much already over. I mean, this was easier than the Crab King fight. Well, I guess it was more interesting, but come on. What am I supposed to say about this? I got a bunch of meat from him and I made some meaty stew. I also decided to refight Claws because I still had a Summon Antler and also Winter's Feast started, meaning I could just fight him year round. Besides, I could probably get some pretty good loot. I got some of the worst Claws loot I think I've ever gotten in my entire life, but that's okay, he's still a fun fight. The Moonstorms themselves weren't super bad, especially because I had Woby, who doesn't really get affected, at least while she's big. So as long as Woby doesn't shrink, I should... Oh, okay, well I guess now I'm stuck in the middle of the Moonstorms with no way to go fast. That's cool. I still need to locate Wagstaff to get the blueprints to start actually traversing the event. Wagstaff, help me! I think I got a potato from the junkyard, but I cannot be bothered to go check the footage to find where I got the potato. Luckily, moonstorms were pretty quick and easy, because I could shred them like I thought I could. And also, I think I've memorized the tool names. Like, I know what the widget scriber looks like now, the grommet scrubber or whatever. Also, I went ahead and gathered all of the moon gleams and infused moon shards I did before I actually had to do the event, so I didn't have to go that much farther. So yeah, pretty easy. The final thing that I have to do is prepare for the moon's Celestial Champion. Luckily, all of the life-giving amulets, I mean, I'm not going to die, but you know, in case I do, that I got from Claws will help, as well as all the ammo I've amassed through whatever. And all of the rest of the boss drops, like jelly beans, the bone armor. That's kind of it. None of the other stuff is really that helpful. But yeah, I am ready to take on the Celestial Champion and show the magnificent cheese methods. Also, I do need a lot of marble suits. You're going to see why. P.S. I killed Glommer for the goop. Now, because Celestial Champion has 3 phases that act very differently, I don't really have anything to do with phase 1 other than just shoot it until it dies so it can turn into an easily cheesable phase. Unfortunately, he's going to kill like everything on this island if I don't kill him first, which is so sad. This also means he might attack the salamanders and do damage to them, and also, the Shadow Tentacle rounds have been so clutch this entire game, because so many monsters will have this habit of just kind of stuttering and standing still, just letting me wail on them and build up so much extra damage. So maybe Walter actually doesn't suck that much. I'm realizing this like day 80. Yeah, first phase really isn't that difficult, especially with the range. It is pretty tough with melee because there are opportunities where you can just take a ton of damage, but like, I mean, projectiles kind of ruin this game. I don't know how you can balance a projectile character, like at all. Like either it's pre-Skilltree Walter where he just sucks and he's not even worth using, or it's post-Skilltree Walter where now I can easily cheese everything and there's nothing the boss can do about it. Speaking of cheese everything, it's time to prepare my cheese strategy for phase number 2. This method is very risky, especially as Walter. Well, not really, because I guess tanking my sanity would help. But I have to tank the spin attack, and he will go over the player and off the edge of the map and be stuck out in the ocean. So now I can just shoot at him, and he can't do anything. So luckily, now I can just kind of just chill out and just shoot him to death from here on out. What? Why did he just plop in the water? Oh, cool. I guess they patched it. That's awkward. Yeah, it turns out Clay just patched this method. This is rough. Now what do I do? I guess I could take him to the edge of the island and teleport to a different one of the archipelagos and just shoot at him from there. Nope, I don't have enough range. Okay, well. Maybe phase... Also, one funny thing with Celestial Champion is he would put down these little, like, moon spike things to like block the player, but he just gets stuck behind him and then I can shoot him for free. So this is really easy, even if he did do a ton of damage. Also, another thing, he will get stuck behind these pawns occasionally. You can use this to cheese his little spin attack, because of course you can't like break a pond. How would that even work? But yeah, this fight was really easy. This attack right here, like he puts up those spikes, he gets stuck right behind it, and I can auto aim past them for some reason and get a ton of free damage also from the Thilsai spikes, dude. I'm glad this character really enables more complex boss designs. I don't even know if I'm using that right, but yeah, this was super free. So on to phase 3. Now, would you believe it if you could just spam Celestial Champion phase 3 with charge shots and he wouldn't move anywhere and just sit there and die? Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this. Now, although this is technically a cheese and I did end up beating him, I decided to roll back a few days in order to do an actual cheese method that I learned literally like 15 minutes after I killed the boss. So let's go to that now. Yeah, this universe's Walter defeated the champion, but go back in time. Some people might remember there's a method to kill the Ancient Guardian that involves putting a campfire next to a pillar. Well, there was. I think they patched it. But yeah, an Ancient Guardian couldn't destroy campfires. Well, it turns out neither can Susted Champion Phase 2. They still haven't patched that for this boss. So yeah, you put down 2 campfires and he gets stuck between them and you just wail on him. This is probably even easier than just fighting Phase 3. No, of course, never mind. But yeah, you get to build up a ton of free damage just based off the Shadow Tentacles and also the fact that he is just tanking damage. Even his spin attack won't help him at all. So yeah, guess what I did for Phase 3? The exact same thing as before. Yeah, I don't know why bosses just have this thing where they don't do anything. I feel like maybe they'd at least like move around. It's kind of anticlimactic. But yeah, that was the Walter boss rush. Cool. Would it have even been any more interesting if I had used slowdown rounds? I think not. It's pretty much the same thing I did, except without the cool setups, and I think the cool setups are part of the charm of Don't Starve the Other Boss cheeses. Yeah, I barely even needed my jelly bean just because I didn't take any damage, because playing a ranger character is easy. Yeah, I guess thanks for watching. Wait, actually, I want to go over my thoughts on the entire skill tree first. I think Projectile Pro and the slingshot attachments are amazing. I think they are really, really effective. And I think they really make the slingshot a weapon worth using. Same with Projectile Pro, obviously you just get more ammo so you can actually like, shoot it a couple times before it runs out. It used to be you only make batches of 10, which makes stuff like the more expensive rounds just like, never worth making. Everything else kind of sucks. Wobby skills, I didn't even bother making any of the Wobby crafting tree because I think only 2 of the skills are even like useful at all. That'd be digging and the agility one. I'm trying to think what else. All the extra rounds kind of suck. Moonblast rounds are okay, I guess, but all the sticky ones pretty much are not necessary, I guess. Except for like maybe Nightmare Werepig, but that's like the only boss I think really is whatever. Honey rounds are giga useless. They don't even work on Dragonfly or Bee Queen or Eye of Cthulhu. Like, what the heck are they even there for? So yeah, Walter's, he's okay. He's like a B tier character now. Thanks for watching. Also, Wobby can take infinite damage and she doesn't want to tank. What the heck?